try to embody. We know that, and we've seen it time and time again. So let's see exactly how both teams are going to kind of move their chess pieces around against each other. And with Lotus as a start, a map that both teams are pretty familiar with, so it's going to be really fascinating.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's not going to be any asterisks here in that first map, right? The second map of I suppose obviously some question marks still remain, but in this first map, sure, Gen.G a very comfort pick. And while this is one of those maps that's always plagued Paper X in terms of how do we figure out our own meta, do we even follow the regular meta, etc., they've always been able to at least put up great numbers on it, win or lose. Of course, most recently still showing that they are willing to return to that double duelist with Something and Jing at the...
I went back and watched some of the VODs of this map. I'm so impressed with the way Karon plays Omen.
Yeah, I mean, he's really grown into one of his own, and it's going to be a read, but Jing's going to get the first shot and leading in numbers as well. Paper X not going to pick up the tempo, though, with the counter paint shows coming out. Slows him down, and now just leaving a lurk. They will reset to explore other parts of the map. Now rotating over to Mound, they would have control of the revolving door as well.
This is huge. They get the heals off as well from Divine. So yeah, Mind Freak taking quite a bit of damage there in that exchange, but able to get him up a little bit. The door is open, and looks like Paper X is really highly considering a full-on C exec.
Yeah, but despite the heals, of course, not all topped up just yet. Munchkin, can he get the nice shots in through? And the Poison Cloud comes up with Forsaken. He still somehow crouches through, continues moving forward, dodges the bullets. And now Texture. I mean, it's a 2v3. No real point of waiting for backup. He's got to dwindle the numbers, but he's been checked out through that one way. Meteor now on the backup, and Paper X, they've taken their post-plant positions, 3 spread apart with crossfires all the way through. But a nice headshot from Meteor, kicks things up, and before he catches the trip, he's got to get the second, down to a 1v1, and Texture already wrapping around. Gen.G will recover the pistol round for a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Paper X is going to be kicking themselves a little bit after that one. Unaccounted, knowing that he's all alone. Just going to back off. Yeah, it's really smart of him. He knows that this is likely a death ball coming at him.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the eco, especially with Paper X and Texture, not going to greet it either. They recognize the push has come through. Karon just going to look to hold close quarters with a Spectre stuck on tree. But look at this. Gen.G already aware of the possibility of a rotate back into B. Meteor, he's been blinded, but now he's got his sights back. Lakia there, but still a 1-for-1, 2-for-2 trade for Paper X. Pushing heaven, picking up weapons. Texture recognizes the danger, has to keep them at bay. Now it's all 3 members of Gen.G pinching onto the site. Karon takes care of one. The double of Paper X stuck on heaven. Texture just keeping them at bay until his teammates are able to pinch in. But Divine gets a kill on the drop. Karon hoping for backup from Texture, and they'll both get a kill each at the same time, recovering the anti-eco.
Yeah, great patience at the end from Gen.G. This is something that has made them so successful this year, is they're rarely not attacking Ghost and 2 Sheriffs.
Yeah, I mean, you lost a Bulldog and a Guardian, right? Bought triple Guardians there to try to really snowball things forward as both teams trying to have a bit of a skirmish to control rubber. It's going to be a late delay from Gen.G. We've seen a lot of teams adjusting to this. It's going to be a high-low from Karon as well, off of all the util masking the sound. And that is Rubble taken over. No weapons dropped on the side of Gen.G. Just said upgrades coming through, but Forsaken, we've seen him lurk through so early once again from Baby Door. It's gonna be a triple. Can he get yet another ace? He seems to do it every time here on Lotus. And now Gen.G spread apart, having to fight solo on either side of the map, while Paper X, they'll be grouping up as 3. They don't want to make the same mistakes. They want to make sure that they're there for trades. But Meteor has led them on a bit of a wild chase all the way around the site. Texture gets spotted by the cam. Looks like, I mean, Gen.G, they may not have time to really activate anything here with the remaining timer of the spike.
Texture able to upgrade the gun. Cannot win the duel against Devi, though.
And it's just Meteor, who doesn't actually have a weapon either, so he'll have to go for whatever damage he can get, trying to isolate the 1v1s. He gets one. Oh, I thought he might be able to get 2, of course, despite
to get a reveal for Texture. Very different look. This is much more like what they usually do on these takes. You can see a Boombot this time to clear that space. Really well read here by Paper X. This was something Talon never really addressed, and Karon's going to go to try to get up top again. Paper X doesn't want to mess with this right now. They're going to wait things out, spread the map a bit.
Munchkin tries to reposition on a timing there, and Something will get the peek. I mean, Munchkin recognizing that he didn't really have an exit, want to get close to one side or the other, but he will be picked off. That forces Gen.G to reinforce their B site, and that's just going to leave Something here as a distraction on the side of Paper X. They'll even open the door to make sure that backup does not arrive onto the C site. Meteor, can he hold on to this alone? But it's going to be a perfect paranoia, and he's been surrounded. He's just trying to stay alive, but it's too many members, and now the flood of Gen.G that used to be so perfect has been broken apart into just a couple drops. Paper X, all alive, spiked down, and looking forward to a flawless round here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so difficult to play against the speed and aggression of Paper X and the combos of all that utility flying in there. I mean, time and time again, every team in the world that's had to face them has had to deal with it. And you never quite know what to expect because the timings are always a little bit different. They're always a little bit uncharacteristic from what you saw in their previous replays. Like, they're kind of shifting how and when things happen with their utility. Like, the Paranoia might come a little bit later. The Guiding Light might come a little bit later. Things like that make it really difficult. You could see Meteor there just had no idea what to do on the C side. He's just trying to find some kind of safety, and there was none.
Yeah, and I think a lot of something that Paper X has learned as well is that Gen.G will oftentimes be prepared for those trades, right? So they don't want to take any chances. If you're going to go into the site, we might as well.
Out Meteor with the Marshall. He's one of the best in the business with that gun. And deeper paint shells this time. No space taken off of it. Just trying to bully them away a little bit, although the cam did go up here for Paper X, so they know that they can push a little bit further. They could take advantage of this site, which maybe Gen.G is expecting them to have backed off a little bit. Now, Forsaken over towards B as well. Really important here.
I mean, Paper X, they recognize that if no one's pushing Rubble after that utility, somewhere else there has to be more info, and they're going to start to combat for that space, and Forsaken is going to have a great time to take over B side as the rest of the main force is starting to pressure A, drawing out a lot of utility from the defending team. During this, Forsaken on the minimap, checking out the entry points into B. Will he have a timing? Meteor has his eyes set, but Paper X, they just want to pinch in. They realize with the number of utility flying into A, it's going to be a safe bet. Now GEN going all the way far back, perhaps way too far ahead of his team. No backup there. A rifle dropped for Gen.G to pick up. This could be a bit danger. Paper X recognizing that, they'll start to push out.
That was tough there for GEN. Couldn't quite get his aim under control. Maybe seeing a little bit of that rust on him. Gen.G realign for this retake. 3 gonna pressure Forsaken here. They've got a crossfire set up.
Yeah, it looks like Gen.G, they just want to make sure that they're able to pick up a couple more weapons before they go in. And look at that, a triple peek. High-low crouch as well, but now it's back to a double from the side of Paper X. They're not letting this go yet. Mind Freak will spray down the remaining members. And Texture all alone with a Sheriff. Can't make the magic happen this time. Paper X will be taking over the lead, 3-2. Any sound here. Looks like they're going to be ready for a boombot sent as well, trying to make sure that Meteor cannot combat this. He doesn't have much to work with. All his Yuto already taken down, but it's Charon here for backup. Munchkin as well opening the door. They actually get fired back upon. Mind Freak is just continuing the spree as he takes one down, and that opens up a timing here for Paper X to enter the site. Meteor, can he hold on to it? No, the flash is too good. The paint shells will keep him tied up, and the showstopper will make sure no one else from Gen.G can approach as Charon eventually gets taken down from the lurk of Forsaken as well.
Forsaken didn't have his gun out, and still Charon couldn't quite get him in time. So tricky to deal with. The showstopper comes out, and Forsaken's already lurking on your back lines. Ooh, the dig through the wall there by Texture.
Doing some damage, but there's just so much to get through, and you don't have much space to work with. Lakia will still be able to fire back against Jing, but a lot of that timer's already run down. The spike ticking away. They're still going to go for it. Prowler on pressure for Texture to run in, seemingly wanting to take advantage of that low health on the ding. And it's going to Texture. He lands just onto the tripwire, and at this point, Lakia, he doesn't have a way out either, just trying to fight for his life, making sure that they do not chase. And it's just the lone Vandal saved up. Forsaken on the hunt. He knows that he just has to try to go for a run and gun, but will not greed for it either. Stabilizes at a 4-2.
You know, essentially eating through ult orbs that you would love to have. Instead, they're not able to really get like the Nightfall there, the lockdown as well in play in that previous round. Able to find any availability to use them. That works so nicely in Paper X's favor. And by the way, this is a map where both teams are really good on their defender side usually. Gen.G has been really stalwart in their defense on this. Now they're going to overstack C, kind of expecting that this has been where Paper X feels like they have a good read onto Meteor and his positionings.
Yeah, but backup all arrived, right? And this is even with that snake bite to try to fake them out away from A site. It's going to be Texture who's trying to make sure he blocks him up, but he's a little too scared to fire the first shot. Wants to line him out, and that gives time for Jing to turn around for a double. Uncharacteristic of the star duelist of Gen.G to hesitate on the trigger. Let the round slip away. Charon, the rookie, last one alive, and Forsaken continuing the jiggle for another round.
Able to do what you were talking about earlier, Will, that they're just dumping utility when they know they can get value out of it. And that's been really powerful. Big hit. Trade. Oh, Meteor and Charon
as well. Mind Freak trying to stabilize, but eventually goes down, and Paper X really choose to stay and fight. Forsaken wondering if the Prowler would spot him. It does eventually, but he's on duty now. He has to lead the forces as something still sticking with the operator for the time being.
Here.
Both trying to open up the right side of the map. Targeting B site and Rubble. Something's going to make a lot of noise, waiting for Forsaken to gain some intel in the middle of the map. And Gen.G, they don't want to fall for this. They're trying to make sure they group up all the way in Defender's spawn and make sure they don't let Forsaken know of their whereabouts. Spike plant, heard by Meteor. Going to Entron to drop, and it looks like it's just going to pinch even with the Nightfall to make sure. He does get tagged right at the end, has no audio. A little bit of that decay as well.
Still has the Blade Storm. That back pocket, lockdown gonna have to be invested.
Well. I mean, Gen.G, they really want to make sure that they don't get pinched from the flank as well. They are prepared for everything, and Lakia with a snap on, but something with a flick to answer back. And now the lockdown goes through. Still not enough time, though. The defuse already started, so some heroics from something.
Pockets for Paper Rex right now. They've got some ults again. Showstopper once again. For Jing going to be available. You do have the Viper's Pit for Munchkin. See how he wants to use it, but I think he's going to be a little bit patient for it. You want to make sure that you aren't going to be cleaned out early. Maybe if they get a spot on you and the Showstopper in the right place.
Yeah, generally, Gen.G, one of those teams that does like to wait for a little bit of a surefire way to send that ultimate, even if it's on a timer near the end of the round, something like that. So we'll have to wait and keep our eyes on Munchkin. But like you mentioned, Gen.G's ult economy, a little bit mixed up, whereas Paper Rex, they've got their options even with the operator. Now Texture waiting on the C side for Gen.G with his own operator that allows his teammates to be ready with a trap play near Baby Door. Paranoia already spent though, so Charon just gonna have to wait for the crossfire. The tripwire sent, no reaction. Forsaken trying to bait this out. He knows that this door is open for a reason. And now they execute on through the revolving door is gonna happen.
Wow.
Jing sends it, uses the Showstopper as an extra boost to move forward, dodge all the bullets, and the site has just been broken open. So we do see a bit of a trade near Baby Door, but something is the guard. Can you get through him?
No idea.
The barrel. No idea. Lakia still hidden right by it. They sniffed something, but not how close enough it was. And now the retake. Gen.G, 3 members ready for the flood. Lakia just trying to draw a lot of aggro towards that Baby Door side. Draw them out into the open. Mindfreak going for a bit of a Hail Mary with the front of the shadows. Meteor going to stabilize the shot first. But now the pinch. Gen.G, they hear his shots. And it's going to be a peek out from Texture, but he gets taken down. Mindfreak still going for it. Half already done by Munchkin. The defuse, they just want to try to stick it. But the spam's coming through, it's ticking down. You have to stick it now, and he's pinpoint on for the headshot, and Devi will clean.
Nobody from Paper X is even going to be in that destination.
Oh man, I love this from Paper X. Anytime Gen.G is weak on their buys, it's going to be Meteor who's targeted, but you can't count this guy out with single shots. He'll take down 2. It's going to be the Raze and Sky down, something also taking a big hit, and that will slow down Paper X. So Meteor, a bit of an adjustment there. Instead of waiting in the site, pushes out towards Mound to challenge them early. Allows his teammates to come for backup. And now B and C site have been flooded. They will be found through the neural theft.
And now they're going to change ideas. Saw too much pressure. Try to make it work onto B. Forsaken looking for the pick off the ping, but not quite able to find himself that kill. Plant going to be able to come down. Switch to the Vandal.
Ooh, with the classic. Woo. Oh, takes him down. That's a rifle upgrade. Now Forsaken's lurk. Are they ready for this? They have no idea. Forsaken, he'll just take the 1 kill. He's happy to buy time to try to bring home this round victory. Tries to flick up, but that's a tough one. Lakia will be able to find that kill. Mindfreak dodges, and he won't be able to connect to the second one. Munchkin picking another with the Sheriff, and it's going to be the Thrifties of Gen.G that return.
Yeah, the classic Gen.G Thrifty. So good at this, and Meteor just a little bit further ahead than maybe Paper X was expecting. They got the ping off the flash, and I could see some level of potential preparedness there for Paper X that maybe somebody would be at that mound, but Meteor was just too fast and too good. And Forsaken tries to double.
To the last couple of rounds of the first half, Paper X still leading 6-4. Something dashes ahead of Rubble, takes all this space, and he's ready for it as well. Sees the tag, sees Lakia getting hit right through the toxic screen. No idea what hit him. And now 2 members of Gen.G still on the A side, but a lot of risk. Tries to take the shot, but he's a little too late. Only hits the Trailblazer, and another swing out, but Texture, good for another. Oh, that's going to be the double blast back. Completely draws the crosshair away, and Paper X seems to have good control of this A site once again.
The reaction protocols from Paper Rex are so good. Right on the back of that Trailblazer to try to set something up. Yeah, he dies, but immediately Jing satchels past the operator, knowing that he's stuck in place without using satchels of his own to get out. There's no quick out for Texture there, and Jing and Forsaken take perfect advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely an honest moment of, was it a burr, was it a plane? No, it was Jing. But by the time he figured that one out, Texture was down and out. Now it's going to be the 7th round win for Paper X. Finally bringing some good old meta balance to the attacking and defending win rates to Pacific.
Yeah, it was about time. I mean,
we haven't seen this in
quite
so often.
I know. Lotus has been a super defender-sided map, but this is going to be the team ace for Paper.
Just so we're clear, he hasn't fired too many shots with that weapon in this first half.
No, it is quite the mixed bag here for Gen.G. Try to see if they can shut this down. And look at Paper X kind of ping-ponging here, and it's so fast. They're already on B. Forsaken already taking space, already trying to see if they can clear this open.
I mean, it's as if they have a hard read on this off-buy, right? The force up, seeing that the weapon's probably all over the place. We just have to make sure we don't run into the operator, nor any of the amazing ultimates on the side of Gen.G. Nightfall gets used. 2 members will dash out, but something gets ahead of it. Doesn't need audio when he's up in the air, and it's going to be the showstopper trying to keep the rest of Paper X at bay, but Jing jumping forward. Gets a lot more kills, and now just Meteor left alive. Picks up the operator. He's always been good for 1, but can he be good for 3? Not even a single kill.
Take potentially, but it looks like it's going to be another brawl right at the front of B.
And they'll run into each other right away. The guiding light, and it is going to be antied, and there's a paranoia, counter paranoia as well. Do they recognize where it came from? No, they're going to spot Mind Freak a little too late, and their crosshair is shaken up by the boombot as well. Double kill for Jing. The answer back from the door from something as well. The backup is there for Paper X. Now a 3v2, but of course the battle still 2v2 as Forsaken awaits the approach on the A side.
It's a pretty good read now for Gen.G, moving towards C. Seeing if they can get it, but of course, as is tradition, Paper X not letting go of those W keys and just going to keep right at their heels, right behind them. Now Laki is watching it. Is he going to be able to get it? Nope, that's spiked down too.
Not quick enough, and Munchkin, he's afraid of the flank now, recognizing that they're pushing him from behind. You got to be afraid of where's Forsaken coming from, because surely it's going to be a pinch and a wide swing. Something's been...
Do a Jing in there, because Jing is full on confidence. He does not care at all what you're doing. He is going to take the fight to you when he feels like it's time.
Yeah, I mean, Jing is, quite frankly, overheat incarnate, but Paper Rex work really well with it as an active drone, and it also gets a lot of kills at the same time, so it's a bit unfair sometimes. But we'll see Gen.G. It's not going to be this round as they are just sitting on a singular Sheriff, but can they stabilize in the upcoming rounds because they don't have too many left. Paper Rex are only 4 rounds away. We've been seeing the outlaw a lot from Jing. He misses the first, he misses the second. He's in a bit of danger now. He's got to run away, but something is there with a Vandal. Gen.G, you did not account for this one. The hate shells will knock Jing out. As Jing wanted to greed for another off of the reload, but now back up a ride from Devi. Gen.G, all their eyes set on something. He's trying to draw aggro. But it's going to be Meteor who's just checking. There's the jump peek, but it's going to be Devi who swings out first. And now just trying to spray down the close members. The classic comes into play as well. And Devi doesn't need the Paper Rex. But
even though he whiffs the shots, there's an extra layer there for Paper X.
I mean, of course, also the fact that they're double duelists, right? Both of them having that mobility to continue to extend that fight until Devi or Mind Freak, other members of Paper X arrive. And Gen.G, if they can't get the kill right away, if it's not a headshot one tap, you gotta question whether you want to continue the fight or not. As Paper X, they love to drag it out in that mud fight. And now it's going to be Texture planted in rubble for this round. Gen.G, they've taken over that space, but at the cost of quite some big util, like the Paranoia already being spent by Charon. Now planting the lurk into B as well. Classic Gen.G coming out, classic default with this composition. Spread out the lurks across the map, see if you get a reaction. Now at 50 seconds, they still haven't cleared the Cypher setup though on C. That's going to be their next obstacle.
Yeah, it's going to be the kind of go signal for Paper X to start pushing the rest of the map. I like what Paper X did here. Really tried to hide.
Their
setup.
Stunned.
Oh, they got him.
Trying to creep forward, but it's just not enough, and something clears that. And Gen.G, they wanted to rotate back. They wanted to plant something in C, but now they'll have to just start to walk in and clear all these traps. They have no idea where Forsaken might be. They're creeping forward. They thankfully will clear out the Cypher, and now taking over the site. It's going to be a quick surround by Paper Rex. Revolving door and something now from defender Spawn as well. Trying to clear the angles. He draws the sight of one, and that's going to be the cue for the rest of the team to start pinching it forward. Divide trying to draw aggro, but he goes down. Now a 2v2. Gen.G, can they win the duels? It's going to be Munchkin who wins one. Now a 2v1. Mind Freak, he gets one. Can he get the second? The spray down not quite landing.
They're wise to the trickery of Paper Rex. They know that you never know when one player is going to be pushing ahead of the rest, trying to see if they can find that extra value. Texture out ahead. Be grabbing that orb early again, but a three-man stack here. Got Jing, Devi, and Mind Freak ready to rumble.
Nightfall available for Lakia. He's set up for it. Now, are they ready for the close hold, though? Because the audio may not matter as much. The DK is going to be something they're looking forward to, trying to hold them, bottleneck them in tree. And so far, Paper Rex succeeds just a bit. Divide trying to bounce back and forth. He gets sighted first, and Texture with a nice flick back around. He clears the entire site on his own alongside his trusty Boombot. And that should be a quick round for Gen.G as they look forward to a 6th round win. Only 2 members left alive. Paper Rex, Bulldog, and Vandal in hand.
Yeah, gonna have to be a save now. Although Forsaken has taken a position. He's gonna try to find cheeky exit frag potentially. Something going on a bit of a lookabout. Just seeing if anybody's gonna come through there quick, see if he can get a freebie. Not gonna be given over there. Great execute from Gen.G on the back of that Nightfall. I mean, I like what Divide did there, where he kind of sidestepped the Boombot and was gonna hold the angle, but Texture just so fast. Then the transfer over onto Mind Freak as well, absolutely nuts. He's ready for the third, and that's round over. So, I mean, we've seen it time and time again this year that Texture can pick up these big multi-kills for you and just completely turn things around, get Gen.G back on track to potentially make this a competitive map.
And that's something that really carried Gen.G.
Jing.
Yeah, you get quick and easy orb, and of course this allows you to set up Forsaken in a bit of a trap on A with the Cypher setups. Now really just trying to make sure that they cannot take over backside too easily, trying to look for the picks rather, upon the entry. Now Paper Rex, they'll try to funnel them towards the A side. It's all going as planned, but whether they can arrive in time is the big question. Texture goes in, does he send it? The showstopper, it's not checking drop just yet. He's not wise to it at all. His teammates are going to start to funnel in. One gets seen, it's a burst, but only one, as Forsaken wonders where the double peak will be. Gen.G thanking their lucky stars on that one as they haven't taken too much damage just yet. Texture holding close from heaven, but I'm not sure if he was spotted by the Trailblazer. Not at all. He's hiding right behind the tungsten screen. He counts for one. That's one down. Tries to hide back into it. Jing goes way far. The showstopper not finding its target. Texture still alive. He stabilizes for another kill. Divine Freak in the short. He won't find its targets just yet. The Nanoswarm keeping them at bay, and Gen.G, they've got the post plants. They've got the angles. The Nanoswarm will be cleared by Jing. He's quick on that, but they have to push. They have to get kills. It's a 2v3. The spike is ticking down, and they are just getting pressured as Meteor gets yet another kill. The paint shells, but Jing only 8 HP. Gets one kill. Can he at least drop all the weapons? No, it's going to be Lakia who will get the last kill, and Gen.G follow up to 7.
You would have liked to have knocked out of that round. Left unaccounted for. Great stuff there from Gen.G.
Oh, and Texture finds sight of at least one, maybe both members as he's throwing the paint shells as well. Just trying to make sure that they don't have an exit. Now baby door broken open. So they have an idea of where the exits might have happened. Gen.G now stabilizing as Meteor clears Mound on the other side of the map. They're really spreading their control of this attacking round.
Forsaken though, just waiting for contact off those tripwires. It looks like camera on the other side. Something sliding over, but there's been no pressure at A, so now you have to kind of start to assume that maybe C might be being thought about. Spike's still in spawn for Gen.G, so they're trying to figure out exactly what Paper Rex's bigger change-up after that timeout was going to be, right? The previous round was a little bit of an eco, so you expect that this is the round that really, you know, maybe there's going to be a response. Maybe there's going to be a crunch out of Baby Door or something like that, but instead, it's all towards C.
Yeah, but I love that from Devi, right? They're aware that Gen.G could rotate to either side, so on a timing sends the Trailblazer. That brings Jing over just in time before the execute happens. Is 3 going to be enough for Paper Rex? As we do see the spray coming in through the smoke. Nobody close. They still haven't cleared the second trip, but it's going to be something that draws the aggro first. Forsaken good for a double. Jing still alive on the site. Something trying to bounce back out as Jing flies forward, but Texture, he's just going in through aim training as all these targets fly at him. 1v2, can he get the clutch? He's already been spotted. He's going to plant with the help of the paint shells. Finds one, doesn't have time though, he has to stick the plant. Will he have it? He stops it, Devi knows, and he goes for the peak! Texture with the ace, and once again it's been a rough going so far on Lotus, but he's back on top, and now Meteor finds a pick on C as well. That will slow things down for Gen.G. They know they have options. With the Cypher down, they can go anywhere. The immediate call comes out. They've been spotted, and something follows through. You have to watch out for this. Paper Rex, when they see an opening, they will not let go. They will drag you back. But Meteor says, welcome right into my arms. 2 down with the Outlaw. Tries to peek around the boom bot, not gonna find an opening. Now he's just trying to play for time as the rest of his team is creeping into the site. Guiding Light comes out. Gen.G has to make a decision. The call comes out to try to reinforce, but Meteor may not need any assistance as he gets another. Still only half armors on the remaining members of Paper Rex as well.
Yeah, this is not the fight you want to be taking with just stingers in hand for Paper Rex. So now you're going to back off and try something a little bit different, but Gen.G hot on their heels, opting to try to take a little bit more contact. Love these Outlaws coming out from Meteor against the ecos of Paper Rex. Save a little bit of extra cash, able to cover the flanks really nicely with it as well. So this little adjustment for Gen.G has caused Paper Rex quite a bit of grief.
30 seconds left.
This is just so good. They know that the Cypher was gone from C site, but instead of waiting to see if the rotates have already happened, you don't know if Paper Rex is split or not. They decided to just deathball it into the site, playing with the advantage of numbers. 3 inside tree, Meteor holding from afar next to Rubble. Mindfree will try to cause a bit of a ruckus with the Shrouded Step. They definitely heard it through the wall, but are they aware of where he might have landed? You won't get a reaction. Gen.G, they are just patient. They know they are so close to trying to tie this up on Lotus, their map pick. This best of 3 in stage 1. Tapping the spike, Mindfree recognizes the members, but Meteor's there for the flank. That's a 4K now. Outlaw picked up for Jing. He'll try to do what he can, but it's only got 1 shot left in it. He can't go for the double.
Have the Neural Theft and the Seekers. The Viper's bit in the lockdown, so a lot of counter utility play. Gen.G this time going to be taking mountain control with a TP in the back.
Paranoia out, but he's not going to land the shot. Divide will stop it, and that should stop the advance from Paper Rex entirely, as Jing will slow things down just enough for something. He's thinking about peeking out of this revolving door. Off of the Guiding Light as well. The team comms are right back in form for Paper Rex.
It's tricky to do. Now we're going to see that Odin come into play as the doors being pushed by Gen.G. Forsaken somewhat aware of it, but not able to find any. You know, he found a little bit of damage on Texture, maybe. Okay, Meteor.
All right, Meteor. He's definitely had to play Jing a couple times before,
my
but Charon goes down. So much damage done. Texture took a big chunk earlier as well. Now you wonder, is it even worth pushing for this Odin? They're going to try to draw that aggro over to the B side. This is all set up for Texture. If he can get a kill, they can immediately rotate back as well. But it's just going to be the Neural Theft, and Texture knows there's no way out. You have to push the B site. The post plant, they'll have to worry about that afterwards. They will look to push everyone out. The pit used for one side. Texture takes over Heaven. The rest all choosing to stay inside the pit. So Texture's going to have to buy a lot of time before the retake happens.
This is tricky for PRX because there's no money left for Forsaken. Got enough to buy, but he's going to have to fork over that Odin. Jeez, he knows these angles so well.
Yeah, I mean, barely just scrapes the cap off of Raze's head. But overall, Gen.G, they get the read that with the Odin spam and no approach, that this might be a save. They read the credit situation here for the potential Odin. Want to do some damage. Of course, not entirely necessary. Lakia, of course, has his Nightfall as well. Other members sitting with enough to buy into the next round. So Gen.G will let the round pass. 10-11 score line. We'll have to take a look how this impacts the next round. Round 22, this is going to be the big one. Gen.G continuing with their default opening to take over Rubble. And Paper Rex, they want to punish it this time. It's going to be a fast push out. Meteor, he's good for one. He makes the dash go away from the other. And now the backup has a ride for Gen.G as well. They've cut off the forces pushing out of B main. And Meteor, if he can get that kill, if he had gotten it, the map opens up for Gen.G, but something will back off.
That was close for something. He's going to have just enough time to get out, but he still has no help. Everybody's leaning towards A. The read a little bit off kilter. Finally, with that Prowler coming through, now they're starting to shift back over, and it's immediate change in direction from Gen.G. They're working the map so nicely.
Yes, it's still a full minute as well. Now, the big benefit is, of course, Cypher set up on A, and Mindfreak understands he can't give up too much space on B main. They need to get that information nice and early. And so, Paper X, they will hold 2-1-1 spread out across the map. Trailblazers, they'll clear mound on that timing. It's going to be the Odin pressuring, seeing if there's a reaction to the smoke to help hit the tripwire. The Boombot will take the hit for that one, but the Nightfall is going to force Forsaken now. Does he stick around? He tags one with the cam, makes sure that they don't approach, and that buys him just enough time to try to get away. Still no audio, and he has no idea that the rope's been taken. Busy with the reload on the Odin. Mindfreak takes over drop. Spike already planted though, and Gen.G set up for the post-plant. Texture with a bit of a curveball, the wild card. Something might have seen him because he catches the barrel, chases him down, and immediately swivels for a second headshot. And now it's just going to be Meteor and Munchkin, 2v2, but the health not on their side. Nanoswarm, buying time. The second one has to be launched right away. It's a lot of time bought. They couldn't clear it in time. Half not done. Now switching up that position, trying to push it. They actually just get it with the spray, and if Munchkin can't get it, it's going to be Meteor, who's just buying time. Still enough for Mindfreak. He tries to turn away, but Munchkin finds a sliver of
anticipation of the pressure, dealing with it, and working the map nicely. Here we go, fast hit now out the open.
And just right through the screen for Texture to pick up a triple. Paper Rex, they tried to adjust, and Mindfreak's holding on for dear life. If he gets a third, it's a totally different story. Now a 1v2 for Forsaken. Can he do it when Paper Rex needs it most? The setup all the way on C site, but the lurk from Meteor, it's faster than Forsaken might expect. He has no idea, and it's going to be the kill.
This attacker side for both teams has been really good, but so far Gen.G's maybe just slightly better, especially with this showstopper coming into Texture's hands.
Yeah, and they know Paper Rex, they failed the fight on Rebel the previous round, so Gen.G just calling them out on it, trying to pressure it once again. Takes the orb as well, sees if there's a reaction. It's a classic setup, and Paper Rex, they might have to go for a bit of a Hail Mary here. Just make sure that you stick to your guns and say that Gen.G, they will try to push and pull us, but they are set up on Rebel. That's the current call for Paper Rex.
And now you're worried about some kind of counter trap developed by Paper Rex in between rounds on this A side. I think something's looking potentially to get not just a pick, but maybe get an orb as well. Get that Blade Storm going.
Yeah, nice clear on the side of Mound though. So now Paper Rex, they know for certain as his door is open that it's going to be an A hit. Forsaken, does he look for a timing? He creeps in. He hears the Cypher cage, but that's just bait from Munchkin. The absolute 200 IQ play baits out the Cypher. Jing trades for something, but they've already lost quite a few. Divide trying to clear the site. Spike still not planted. The showstopper will have to be used by Texture to make sure they have enough time. 3v2 for Gen.G. Munchkin holding from afar by Rubble. Tries to cover their bases. The showstopper sent to cover drop. Now Spike planted. Mindfreak, does he use the toxic screen against them? The smoke to see if there's a peek, but not quite just yet. Drop gonna be filled up by Jing. It's going to be a pinch from Paper Rex. Mindfreak's creeping up, but the barrel shows as Lafia turns his head. Texture gets the kill onto Jing, and Mindfreak knows he has to get it, but not in time. And the IGL of Gen.G will close out an insane 13-11 map on Lotus.
It's unbelievable, and the comeback here from Gen.G, it's that determination they've had. Pick it up anyway, but you can always shift it over to Meteor as well. But on this defender side, really taking a ton of space, leaving the A side open, just a little bit of the KJ utility cleared by Paper Rex. They're gonna have a free plant. Now, let's see if they can hold out for this retake. Gonna clear the nano as well, so everything open here for Paper Rex. Using that wall, make sure that this plant goes safe, but Gen.G trying to figure out exactly where they're going to come from. Looks like mostly from their side.
Yeah, they're all just going to cycle back through screens. Now, something about the Sage Wall, obviously very good in the pistol, but in general as well, it should be very good against the double flash of the Gecko KO, as you still won't be able to fire through all the angles. Something just going to get a blind kill through the smoke. That'll dwindle down to numbers, and a lurk already in action by Divide. We'll keep our eye on that on the middle of the map, as he's already cycled all the way through, but the Wingman's still going. That Snakebite ain't taking away little bro anytime soon, and we've seen this too many times for it to happen again. And as this Force Bite comes out, with the half armors from Paper Rex, surely they suspect an outlaw when it's Gen.G with Texture and Meteor. So we'll see what ideas they have. It's going to be a high pop flash from the KO. Texture just throwing out the Paranoid to buy more time. Allows him to reposition a little bit. Something with the hard dive in with the dash, but Munchkin already there from behind the site, and Texture gets another with the Outlaw. Mindfreak's already close with the Stinger, and he's going to be able to kill Texture. Not able to stabilize in the smoke.
Spike planted.
And the spike will be planted. It's surrounded by the walls. Lakia finds the scope of one. Mind Freak going down. And Jing all alone. Stinger in hand. Judge and Bulldog to work with for Gen.G. It's going to be the Dizzy that's used to clear away from Heaven. And now creeping in from Charon. The Judge actually gets the kill from about medium range from down below. And we will see Lakia pick up yet another point going towards his Thrash.
I mean, it's an interesting idea from Paper Rex. You send Devi, who's, I think, just had a ghost or something. It wasn't more value as well for Texture on this A site.
I mean, the Outlaw, the Judge, it's all going as planned for Gen.G. They'll even take the ult orb. Very nice and quick, 1 point away from that null command. And now they will back up the utility, letting Gen.G know that this is an execute onto the site. Texture's holding close. He gets spotted by the dash, so he's going to have to buy time as Munchkin will take out one in the paranoia for support, but it's going to be Paper Rex that just absolutely overwhelm Gen.G. So he will go for another plant. This time, no Sage left alive, so no wall to block off the lines of sight. Meteor takes advantage of the long range, picks off the Viper, forces away something with the Nano Swarms, ready for the trade as well. Forsaken eventually wins out, but that gives time for Gen.G. The rest of the forces to push through. The Thrash will clear out all the areas, finds him, and he is detained. And forget any sort of disrespect, they will just be going for the defuse. Lakia barely lands in time to get the kill without taking any damage. It's going to be the third round.
That much easier. Lakia pinging the orb but not going for it. Gets slowed up and just backing off here.
Yeah, doesn't want to take that risk with the slow orb and the utility coming out as well. Paranoia at the ready. This is a trap play set up by Gen.G. They're going to push forward. The Dizzy tags him as well. They're ready for belt push, but Texture not able to get the kill just yet. So down to 4 members, 4 rifles for Gen.G. A dash in, but something, he's been surrounded. Lakia tries to push him, but something's just waiting for that opportunity. And that allows the rest of Paper Rex to try to swarm the site. Munchkin and Meteor holding true in the back of sight, trying to isolate the 1v1s, but they can't get in. The null command will just go down at the back. Charon not able to res as Munchkin eventually gets taken out. A 3v1. Charon, the rookie star, quiet in the first map. Can he find an opening in the second? Gets pinged, uses that against him, isolates one. Ready for another, goes for the repeat, but can't find Forsaken, already waiting wide away from the corner.
Get down, but it's been very chaotic so far. As obviously, we haven't seen Icebox from Paper Rex in quite some time. This push out, Forsaken, good for one, and out we go. Munchkin is nuts. How is he always so good with these guns? He's one taps.
Especially on Icebox as well, right? There's something about him. Turns that switch on. Tries to stabilize a 4v4. Texture will recover that weapon now, and that could be the deal breaker. But no, Jing just shuts down right away. And Gen.G, despite having a 3-1 lead, of course, the econ very low. Munchkin gets the kill from afar as we see extra damage coming in from Charon with the right click. Now just trying to retake some space, but with the rifle recovered, when does Gen.G call for the save? Try to bank up some econ once again. He's ready for it, sees the leg, and he will swing right back, trying to clear both corners at the same time. That might be the opening they needed. Charon eventually goes down. Munchkin, does he get the call that someone's close? Might have caught a glimpse of him, and he's going to get 4 on for the ace, but he needs to defuse the spike as well. Not sure about the position, waiting for Devi, who's oftentimes lurking, but not going to find him just yet. Devi will tease him with the timer. Munchkin just wants to take away the weapons one last time.
Devi on Chamber. I was kind of curious to see if we were going to get to see a repeat of it, but certainly in this current meta, you know, Killjoy able to claim so much space, especially on your defender side. Keep so much information under your control. Meteor to be the Killjoy on the B site. Be tasked with that.
Holding with that util. That allows Gen.G to go for their defaults once again. Push out A, take the orb, and immediately they'll reset to mid this time for a fast rotate to either site. Texture holding A with the op. It's going to be the Nano Swarms, and the null command comes through though, so it's not going to be allowing the Killjoy to hold onto the site any longer. Meteor actually backs out just to hold an angle, sees the gun barrel. The spike will get planted, but it's going to be Gen.G who already has so much space and a numbers advantage, 4v3. Now the alarm bot goes off. They know that they're still bouncing around the entry from green into the site. Yellow not cleared yet for Gen.G. All of them grouped up. The paranoia goes all the way through. Should have hit something, but they can't find him right around the edge just yet. And Meteor, he's still running and gunning when he swings around. Something will barely get that kill with 28 HP. The snake bite clears it right at the end and the pit, but it's right up against the wall. The spike should be easy to spam through. Little bro tries scope for it, and Lakia swings out to assist the little bro, and it's going to be Wingman going for the defuse once again, 4-2.
Rex gonna set up for kind of a stabilization, seeing if they can maybe get that lockdown into play right around the corner. Texture watching for that belt player.
And the jump peaks trying to come in for Jing. Not sure if they quite spotted him clearly just yet. Might have gotten a ping on the mini-map. But at the end of the day, not able to take too much space. It's going to be the null command used as well, and Munchkin actually moves away. They're just, yeah, they're trying to just empty A site and see if they bite on the side of Paper Rex. Lakia hiding by the smoke. He catches the side of the blade storm, and Lakia wants none of that from something. Obviously one of his debut highlights here on Icebox itself. Munchkin ready with a flash drive and the Dizzy. The double flash is being prepared. Can they clear out the lockdown? The lineup, is it going to land? And it should just be able to clear that lockdown out. But still, so much utility used by Paper Rex. Gen.G will respect it. Paranoia early to retake the site. Something should be wary of this. The Wingman clears the corner, and Lakia swinging around already. Gets one kill off the top of Nest. And that's the forward position from Paper Rex cleared out. Forsaken now wrapping around. They want to protect the pin, and it's going to be an all-out brawl right outside the pin as we see Gen.G continuing to get the kills. Forsaken not able to pick up an upgrade to the weapon. Only Mind Freak left, spiked down outside of his comfort zone. And it will be defended by all three members of Gen.G. A Hail Mary push out as the pit goes down, trying to recover it, trying to isolate the members. But Lakia is still around the corner, no time left. And it will be the round for Gen.G as Mind Freak will get a consolation kill onto Lakia.
It's everything in the kitchen.
Push the sights in. That's going to be the trap play set up here on green. Mosh used to push him back, allows Karon to set up close by the door. Forsaken caught a glimpse of it on that jump, but not quite the weapon just yet.
He's just going to be holding that angle. Actually, he's going to try to push it.
Oh no,
so
the pop
dangerous.
flash.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he baits out the weapon sound as well. So gets the information he wants. Meanwhile, Mind Freak was already all the way up tube. Meteor takes a bit of a hit. Divide there. They didn't quite suspect two members in mid already. Munchkin wanted to get him on the exit. And that gives Paper Rex the idea to try to push back up. Meteor's wise to it though. Dwindles down the numbers, and Mind Freak now another curveball going under tube. Planting Forsaken back in tube as well. Paper Rex, they're continuing to keep control of mid. Nano Swarm used to allow for Lakia to hold a little bit safer on the side of yellow. Resurrection by Jing.
Yeah, and you got to be real careful here as Lakia. You have a Thrash, so you're a real big piece of this puzzle.
Well,
never mind.
You say that, the caster Chris strikes, and he'll go down without much of a fight. And Paper X now have control of this site, but Meteor trying to defend his own lockdown with his life. Can anyone get here to make sure that it's going to be Paper X trapped into this texture? Will clear the enemies, but something pushes out just in time. Kitchen taken over by Devi. And Texture, it's too many angles for him to try to clear with an operator, but he's still going to go for it. Already posted up in Snowman. Doesn't catch something up top. Doesn't catch anybody else up top either, and Devi will swing out on a timing.
Time again on this Killjoy. Now, something going to be with the operator of his own. He tries to challenge off that snake bite.
It takes a lot more health damage.
It's K, Jing can heal.
Yeah, that's true. That armor gone forever, though. We'll see. It's going to be Sheriff's nonetheless, so Gen.G is just going to have to look for headshots. This is all really, once again, a trap play, and we've seen Gen.G rely on this every now and then if they wanted to throw a curveball. They're actually just going to try to swing out. They don't want to let Paper X approach. They know Paper X would check the corners, but they won't find the kills. And it's an attempt from Gen.G, but it's going to fall flat as there is the aggro drawn by something. Great teamwork from Paper X. Wall goes up, spike goes down. And that should be the round as Munchkin sitting solo close to the wall with a Sheriff. See if he can get a cheeky kill or two.
Hoping that maybe Jing is going to go up the rope and get a freebie.
Restraint from Paper X. A rare breed indeed. Oh my gosh. Attempted the 3K. Attempted.
Though, so let's see exactly how Paper Rex wants to play this.
Slow orb to make sure that anyone on pipes are not going to be able to peek out too easily. The 0 point should tag Lakia as well. So in a little bit of trouble. No command immediately to make sure that there is no utility for backup. And Lakia trying to make sure he goes for the anti-flash. They actually just don't check it up top. Munchkin draws the aggro first, and it's going to be 3 members down on the side of Paper Rex. Gen.G only taking damage on the side of their Gecko. So that takes away the Thrash, but it's going to be enough for the rest of Gen.G to clear out a Sun.
Just
Yeah.
not much you can say other than, oops, we forgot to check pipes.
Yeah, they'll have to remember that one. Now something, going back to what worked a couple rounds ago, just pressuring mid, trying to draw out some of that pressure on the side of the map. But they'll still have to deal with Texture's operator if they choose to go B. As we can see on the mini-map, Texture trying to decide which angle to hold, trying to back out further towards Snowman. As Gen.G's made the decision, they're just going to hold near Boiler, near mid, make sure that they're ready for a flood on either side.
Thrash going to be used to check mid, and it's not going to find anything, so right back towards Lakia's hands it will go. Just Devi, the lone lurker, all 4 other members of Paper Rex.
Oh, this angle.
Yeah, Texture kind of aware that something loves to swing out wide here on yellow. You see it all the time.
Oh, Texture's waiting for it, but he won't find the kill just yet. So he will get pressure with the fragment as well. Now, the spike absolutely getting planted with the pit as well. What's the answer? Is there still alert from Devi on the A side? See if that finds a good timing on the side of Paper Rex. Meteor sitting in the pit, waiting for his teammates to pressure everyone else out as Karon has eyes on the Killjoy. Kept him locked up in mid, and now Gen.G, they go for the retake. The Thrash comes out, trying to funnel everybody out of the pit. It's going to go land with the Paranoia out as well. Did they even hear the defuse with the Paranoia? Not quite sure. And now it's going to be Paper Rex who has to flood the pit itself, but it's going to be the defuse that already goes through.
Paper Rex there showing a little bit of some of that rust. That lack of coordination, you know, with Jing coming back into the roster. Karon, oh boy.
It's going to be a lot, and they check the corner, but not quickly enough as Karon gets 2, and that should be enough to slow things down. Paranoia keeps Jing at bay. Lakia already under tube. Wingman clearing close, but Texture goes down from afar. Mind Freak will equalize the numbers. Meteor picks right up where Texture left off, and Jing has to heal. They should be aware. The resurrection comes in, and Devi tries to go for the trade, but it's a double stack. Lakia
kind of very similar again. Both teams kind of mirroring each other in their pistol rounds, just like we saw in Lotus. So Gen.G gonna get the site for free. Can they kind of turn the tables? Last time it was the defenders who were able to get this, but it's a much faster retake attempt here. Paper X already finding one. Munchkin down, the trade from Mind Freak as well.
Yeah, the flank coming in very fast. Gen.G wasn't quite ready for that. They were peeking out, but it seems that they were a little bit caught off guard. But a good angle from Texture. He'll still alive with 27 HP. See if that's the deal breaker as Karon swinging around. He finds one. Lakia's going to pick up the kill. Goes for the trade there. And Jing, everyone solo. Mind Freak's actually going to pick up the headshot onto 2. Lakia and Karon goes down. Texture still at 27 HP. Devi at 89.
Oh my
he gets
God.
spotted up top. Texture, hear the drop, but he can't land the headshot as there's a slight ramp down. And Devi will get the kill and the defuse.
Yeah, as much as the beginning part of that round looked kind of similar, it was a much faster retake from Paper Rex. As soon as that spike started going down, they were...
And now, quite a few rounds to string together if they want to get back the lead on Icebox.
No force buy from Gen.G. So things kind of looking a little bit more normal, but Munchkin, these tricky positions, are they going to be accounted for? He gets hit through the
Grating,
grate,
yeah.
the grate of that fence.
Just barely stays alive. Had to go for the left clicks as the right clicks also would have just hit the grate as well, but it's going to be Mind Freak. Swings out, well aware of the lurk in from Meteor. And Wingman not even going to get the plan, and it looks like Gen.G perhaps losing a lot of that value. Texture will pick up a kill. Mind Freak not quite aware of Karon's position. Nice to regain a bit of an angle. Texture gets another at long range around the poison cloud. It's a swing out from Karon. He waited so patiently, and he's able to try to hold control of the site. And Texture with 30 on the Sheriff.
Texture doing a ton of damage, and yeah, just sneaky positions. Something that Gen.G has been so good at on this map, using just those little micro timings to get ahead of your information, and it costs dearly. Costs dearly for Paper Rex. We're now in Sheriffs of their own. Couple rifles for Gen.G, a Spectre and a Bulldog as well. So now Paper Rex just trying to see if they can guess correctly where this is going to go. Gen.G's been very quiet, very slow.
Stack is there. All the sheriffs, like you mentioned. 3 already on Evan, 2 by Boiler. They should be a quick backup as well. Flash drives at the ready, so is the frag. When the toxic screen comes down, they were waiting for this moment. Divide picks off 1, and Gen.G, they might have to reconsider things as Wingman will go in for the plant. But is that just enough? No, Lockya can't get the spray down through the toxic screen. Something will pick off the kill. Now Nano Swarms at the ready, but Paper X, they're ready to push things out. Going to be the Cloudburst, try to draw out a reaction. There's the Sage Wall, they have to break that quickly, but the swing of the wide swing, something, once again the crosshair magnet works its magic, and that's all the time Forsaken needs for the defuse. Paper X answer.
Overall handling it, but this time does get the better of them with those guns. So now Thrash going to be used early by Lockya. Get a little, and it does get the detain onto Mindfreak. He has no help.
Yeah, they're trying to chase through with the Shrouded Step as well, and Texture barely lands in time to get that kill. Mindfreak, all he could do was turn around and crawl away for his life, crying for help. But help was too far. Now Mosh at the ready, so is the Paranoia. It's a brutal trade though, 2 for 2. Now from the shadows, they recognize that everyone is here. Meteor already through Tube. Does he sense anyone right under him? Don't think they would have heard him just yet. It's going to be, I look at the positions. I mean, Lockya holding way deep in attacker spawn. And Meteor trying to hold on to mid. Now hasn't quite checked out the window just yet. Forsaken and him, they will, okay, now they'll be aware of each other. Lockya catches 1, the 0 point meanwhile pushes Meteor away from Kitchen. And Forsaken, now he has to find the remaining members. He has to clear them out. He gets one onto Lockya. He's looking up above Tube, but now with Texture already out of the sight, Meteor, no reason to rush it. They're just gonna force him away from the spike.
Forsaken gonna try to tuck into the garage area, and we'll get there. The real question is he going to be hunted down? Still a little bit of time. Ping's coming down for Gen.G. Shots ring out. Forsaken knows that Meteor's over there and knows that he has to be 10 from there. There's just no hope for Paper Rex. They're trying to do what they can, but
holds on to the entire map, right?
Yeah.
Just to spread out. Normally, we kind of speak against that, obviously trying to stick to numbers, but just understanding how much the Paper X would have to clear to approach the retake. Now Gen.G pressuring A-site once again, and this time Paper X, it's a reactionary round. They try to go for a spread out 2-1-2 default. Now scrambling towards A. Gen.G though, no lurk, just a turret to watch their flank. So they don't have too many options to rotate out no matter how much time is left. Just going to be a set execute, but an immediate clearance of all the utility makes him think twice about this one. The Paranoia to allow Texture to dive in with the Shrouded Step. He's already under, but he gets spotted. The slow arm keeps him tied up. He will go for the trade for Forsaken with a quick double, and another from Device.
Making it really tricky for Gen.G, so Gen.G may want to start thinking more about this B site, more about using some of their utility to clear these angles. See if they can get a plant down. Divide does find 1. Towards mid, a lurking Meteor accounted for.
Yeah, Lockya took a hit through his own Dizzy as well. Forsaken still holding on. Wasn't quite ready for Texture to swing out, but he will get out safely. Jing finds the lurking Munchkin. Paper X starting to get a pulse onto the opponents and their abilities to rotate and lurk. Now
stuck in that garage area.
Yeah, not much to do on this round. Just trying to see if the opponents approach them for a couple of cheeky kills like that.
Well, they're just trying to dodge all that fire, but eventually Jing is going to find him. Lockya down, only on Texture. Did pick up a Phantom in the midst of all of this, 61 HP. Not looking ideal, and turns just at the last second. Mindfreak good for now as Gen.G, you finally get into a buy round. There's so much available. They're just going to go.
Oh, it's the wall love. I've been waiting for something like this. Paper X, there's never just a clean game of Sage. It's always something tricky, and it's just a push out across the entire map. This Gen.G just dropped like flies all near their spawn, never able to leave home.
In a short amount of time. They haven't had a ton of time to practice Icebox, just a couple days.
Yeah, and it's just going to be the early pit as well this time. Right outside of Pipes, doesn't want to risk that pit getting caught off guard just a little bit, so making sure that he denies the entry point, gets the high-low as well, and that allows Mindfreak to set up the toxic screen for his teammates here, and it looks like there's a cheeky Sage wall going on somewhere near the B nest.
Everybody's here.
Oh, the flash gets a big tag. Now just going to be a hold here onto the B site. Now with the pit up in A, unless Gen.G takes over some part of mid for a pinch, not going to have too many options.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the corner so they can get the Vipers pinned
down.
down.
The crowd instead gets spotted before the flash. A bit of a mismatch. This is not something we used to see from Gen.G in the beginning of the year. But now with the Omen in the mix, they haven't quite cleaned up the timings just yet. And PaperX will punish that mistake like there's no tomorrow. Wingman trying to get the tag, but it's just way too many members. Lakia will do his best something impersonation, but it doesn't end with a kill, as we see Meteor, last one alive, not able to land it onto Jing.
Ash was able to get the kill, so you're also maybe seeing a little bit of this new comp change for Gen.G, kind of showing a little bit of polish that is lacking. Oh my god.
Yeah, something just looking for an early pick. Now, PaperX, they should be wary of this. They've already pushed him out of B with the 0 point. Something won't quite finish a kill here. Charon down to 5 HP. As Gen.G, they will still relentlessly try to go forward with this. Wingman getting spammed through the wall. He cannot finish the plan. The lockdown already committed from Gen.G, but PaperX has slowed down the onslaught. And Gen.G, they will have to recover the spike and still battle through this retake, along with a lockdown, a potential no command, everything in the arsenal of PaperX, and it's going to be the classic aggro draw as Forsaken gets the trade, swings out for a third, and he goes for a fourth, and that is PaperX taking over the lead for the first time here on Icebox.
I just love the quickness that PaperX makes decisions. Blade Storm, maybe if he wants to switch to an op, I'm a bit surprised. Haven't seen one here with all this extra money, but you don't need it when you're that good.
Yeah, might have even heard that one. Texture trying to scout it out, but something just too good on the swing. And now the flash used from Forsaken to try to put extra pressure onto Garage. Gen.G has to keep clearing all of that. Meteor tries to take it upon himself to open the map a bit further in mid, but it's not there, so they continue pushing. Green, something still here. Whiffs on that first shot, not able to stabilize. Now a 2v3 for Gen.G. You've still got the Thrash. You've still got the Dizzy, one more flash drive as well. They do have the tools. If they can catch Divine here in mid, if he can pick up that kill, and Divine knows, as long as I stay alive, the backup's there. Munchkin takes a lot of hits for his trouble.
Yeah, and they're going to try to split the map, see if they can confuse PaperX, but PaperX is fully committed towards A, especially with that knife there. That's got to be your thought that it's going to be that. Now the Thrash on the other side, so you're thoroughly confused as PaperX to which side of the map this is actually going to be. You do get the detain onto Forsaken. Going to use the Dizzy as well to check if he has any cover, but Jing is just arriving through Kitchen.
Yeah, they weren't able to capitalize on that kill just yet, so that means Munchkin, while he's rotated all the way back over for his teammate, trying to make sure that they have a bit of a numbers advantage. Now to capitalize on that, and now it's all up to Wingman. The swing off of the flash drive. Jing not able to stop the plant. This might be the best chance that Gen.G has had. The drop, the quite check for him. Lakia looking for another. Can he get a second? No, and it's going to be Jing and Forsaken. The duo, they're going to be able to bring home PaperX right up to a map point.
I already thought maybe that was the lone man on A with some of that KJ utility to bail on. Oh, excuse me, I just saw something now.
Oh yeah, doubled up.
I didn't see that earlier. He was buried underneath Jing's icon on the map.
I mean, they are oftentimes all stacked up against each other, waiting for the trades. So we shall see. Lockdown and no command still in the pockets of PaperX. Like you mentioned, something now peeking out. Jing covering him for any peeks out from Belt. So A side secured for PaperX. The solid 2-1-2 default as it's just going to Forsaken. Going for a jiggle. Now calls for backup. Device still watching mid for the team. The Poison Cloud not activated yet from Charon.
Util dump coming through. Still have that Viper's pit. Yeah, let's see if they can get it down this time. Buy a little bit of extra space. Mind Freak re-aggressing.
Yeah, and he's trying to hold close. He doesn't want this pit to come up. He wants to strike when the iron is hot, and he'll try to swing out. They're trying to make sure that Gen.G dumps all their util before they have to do anything. Forsaken trying to go for a long-range trade, but it's going to be Gen.G who still just wins out in the numbers. More angles covered. The smoke eventually dissipates. There is the jump up onto the wall. Malakia eventually gets the spike down. Now something trying to join Jing in the verticality as we see a from the shadows from Texture. Lands all the way behind PaperX, and they have to jump into the smokes as Lakia sprays down for two. It's all up to something, and with the Blade Storm, it's going to be so tough to try to clear this Viper's pin. Skirts around, and Charon.
It feels like there's always another player there. There's always that trade. Everybody's working off each other so well. It's a big part of why they've been as successful as they have. Now they're using a lot of utility. Starting to take some space. Something not going to invest in that up. Not quite enough money in the bank. I guess. Well, they could have done it, but they didn't. They didn't opt to. I mean, look at it.
Choosing the mobility, it seems, throughout this entire map. It's going to be the site execute. Once again, Paperex, are they ready for the 5-stack? It looks like it. Slow Orb keeping them at bay. The null command used as well. They still have a lockdown for a potential retake or another push back out that gives Mindfreak the opportunity now to cover for mid. He's checking for the rotation. They don't see anything yet. A ping comes out on the B side for Gen.G. They have all the intention to rotate over. Now with the Poison Cloud going up, Mindfreak, it's his job to hold the line. One Nano Swarm to disrupt any type of plant. The null command coming out, but it's not going to be catching the Killjoy just yet. Forsaken takes down the KO, and Mindfreak just trying to drag this fight out as long as possible. A wide swing from Texture, but Jing gets yet another kill. It's going to be the long-range hold from something, and now it's all down to Texture as Jing takes him down. 13-11 once again, but on the other side is Paperex. They finally answer for their...
Like it wasn't quite there, but who knows, you know? I like this changeup for Paperex with this agent comp because I think, you know, maybe against T1 you feel like you have a little bit more of advantage in your skill diff. You could take advantage of that Reyna, but this is going to be a much more chess match oriented battle as we've already seen quite a bit. So a hard rotate from Paperex off of just a little bit of utility contact, and it is work to treat for Gen.G. They have fooled them mightily.
Yeah, taken over short entirely. However, Paperex will be positioned for a potential TP as well. The teleporter, they're thinking about it. They're actually just going to jump right on in as you hear the guiding lights coming out onto A site. No fear, clearing out showers, and suddenly the position's very good for Paperex. They will take a big hit from something. The high Dizzy along with the Trailblazer. It's just their own 2 comp right now, and that draws all the aggro as Mindfreak's able to sneak out from his own smoke. He's now just holding Heaven. They know that people are missing. He's just trying to buy time as everyone's missing their right clicks, but Munchkin will finally land the shot. Something trying to hold on to the site, and of course
commit deep into A, and they don't account for Mindfreak being up into A heaven already, just waiting. He had eluded any of their detection on that take, and that cost them. That cost them that round. You know, yeah, Texture comes in there and gets some big frags, but you're going to be on a variety of pistols for the side of Gen.G. Even a Frenzy for Munchkin. We never see that. Usually if he's going to grab something else, it's going to be a Sheriff. One of those guns he can one-tap with, but he's come around a little bit of info gained.
Yeah, great flight path there. Sends it all the way through the window as well, as they had already taken over main. Korsuka, the only place that's missing. Devi just going for a spray off of the drop. Knows that they have to be somewhere near the smoke. He'll wait for a little backup. It's just going to reset onto the headshot against Texture. The spike will get planted, but it's going to be Forsaken who just puts up the cove, waits for them to flood it. And the Stinger good for 2. Meteor not having his Sheriff out just in time. It's going to be a flawless for Paperex.
Yeah, looking good. I mean, again, even though they give up space, Paperex knows how they want to react to that situation. The Hawk to confirm to give up space like that. Almost never see that anywhere else.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of
what is this wall?
Awareness.
I love this.
Yeah, they've been doing that for the default here the past couple rounds. Wanted to touch upon it on the previous round, but of course delays any push into window, but also allows you to control that orb on long. A bit of a perhaps variation, something they might have picked up against their previous opponents T1, who had a deep wall allowing them to push out of window every time on B short.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, Paperex with their own version of it. Now Gen.G, they're going to wait for that high tide. Oh, and Devi's just waiting for it. Sights trained, gets Lakia off the rip. Texture not going to get tagged by it, but Paperex well aware that Gen.G has not moved an inch. Just cutting audio. Texture now been spotted. He has to pick up the tempo. The rest of the team has to come through. The Thrash is going to tag a bunch of people, and Jin's going to go for the cleanup as Texture just has to hide himself in hopes that he can recover the round. But
Gen.G's hand, these are the rounds where they can really turn a map on its head. We see this time and time again with them. When they start picking the pace up after they get a thrifty.
Oh, the boom bot timing is very good from Jing, though. They sense the Trailblazer early. Going through the high tide. Texture will track him through the wall, and that will give him another orb. That's the showstopper online. Mindfreak, is he aware of that possibility? He gets past the trap wire. Not sure if he was spotted on the cam yet either. Meteor still waiting for it. He's not aware of it at all. Mindfreak somehow enters the Matrix and goes by all the Cypher setup. Showers back in control for Paperex. And meanwhile, during all of that, Something has wrapped around for the B side. Gen.G is just trapped. They know they have to go. They'll send the showstopper, but they won't find a target. They have not actually gained any more space until Munchkin finally gets a kill to clear out Shabazz. Something with a nice answer back. Spike still not planted. Gen.G waiting to see if they can gain a little bit more control. The Cove used for Forsaken to reposition. Munchkin, he's got a weapon, but something spots the barrel first, and that's Gen.G's numbers dwindling. Spike still not planted as Karon just cannot figure out the exact angles to hold here. No weapons in hand, just a Sheriff. It's been a pistol that's really been one Gen.G can trust upon. Spike finally goes down, wants to isolate the 1v1s, but unaware entirely of something's position as he was last seen in Ace Short. It's coming through showers, and Karon has no clue as something will get a triple and Forsaken gets the defuse.
Yeah, this is a big win for Paper Rex. It looked like it was going to go Gen.G's way, potentially getting the showstopper available, but it's the round open. Something with a great lurk, doing a good job. Oh, the flash catches Munchkin. Gonna have to back off, and this is what I'm talking about. They're just happy to start taking this space.
I mean, it's the entire left side of the map pretty much pressured through. Now, they haven't quite taken control of B long, but they do have an off on the side of A short, by the way, held by the Sky, rather, on Divide. And so if Gen.G ever chooses to rotate, that's going to be a rude surprise for them, as Paper Rex has now stabilized back onto the B site. Munchkin, fairly aware of a potential lurk here in window. But will they get the clear? It has to be a double swing. Munchkin and Meteor, they were so good on map 2, but they isolated to the 1v1s, and something swings out for the second! Munchkin and Meteor shut down. Thrash used to continue pushing out, and now they all group up. They don't want to let the fights get into the advantage of Gen.G. The TP as well, as they look to protect the spike. Run down the clock. Lakia, a nice peek out against the operator, but still so many more to go. Mindfreak's position unknown to Gen.G as he creeps on the rotate.
I'm expecting Jing to blast out of here at some point. Just to try to deal with it, but he's going to hold the position on top of the box.
He's not spotted. Finally, they get an inkling of where he's at. They did pick up the spike, but they all run in. And Texture barely getting away with his life, but he's got 20 seconds. And Jing somehow on Paper Rex. We'll see if that continues. This time a much deeper high tide that will get everyone from Gen.G tagged up and be long. And with the snake bite landing, Paper Rex are going to back off. Look to hold at a distance as something cast with holding onto Hookah all on his lonesome. Hit available for Munchkin if Gen.G is able to get onto the site. Something they can use to try to get their first round win. But of course, good ultimates on the other side as well.
Good camera placement here by Meteor, knowing that they've been pushing space all over the map. And of course, they're going to try to reaggress it. Mindfreak going for it. He's got that ultimate in the bag. Trying to play a little bit of defense here for Paper Rex. Have the Seekers as well.
Oh, the Mosh timing's very good. Forces him to have to clear it out from afar, and Divide will get one. Something, he's stuck behind the box. Can he stay alive? Just trying to land it, and there, it's going to be a kill onto Jing from Karon, but Mindfreak's already way past as he goes for a triple. Filing out.
And by that point, Mindfreak's already ahead of you. Now, a little bit of space being taken through short A this time, expecting an A hit, and it's just Forsaken all alone on this A site. Everybody else pushing out. So again, the protocol's so good here for Paper Rex, where this lone player isn't overcommitting, trying to take a trade. They're waiting this out. Now there is a spam, and somehow Forsaken gets one.
Oh, and the code to keep himself alive as well. He repositions. They would have to push it if they want to clear, but Karon waits patiently from afar. Gets the one-to-one trade. The Seekers now coming out from Paper Rex, leading them back into the site, and there is the Orbital Strike, does quite a bit of damage. Something, all on his lonesome, it's going to be a 2v1, but how does he stay alive in all of this? Picks up a kill as well. The chaos where Paper Rex was born carries him through, keeps the pit at bay. Now the Orbital Strike from the other side as well. Karon just trying to buy time, but something, he's already entered the pit. Munchkin has to be aware of this as something snaps on. Already down to 1 HP from the decay, and it's all up to Karon, and he cannot get there in time.
Again, it's those instant reaction plays that Paper Rex has. Such brilliant knowledge of their agents, the way to play them, how to react. This deep understanding of the game that they actually have is just incredible.
Jing peeks out right as the Poison Cloud lands, wants to get ahead of it before it blooms. And this has been a recurring theme even since Icebox. Paper Rex knows that Gen.G, if they're able to clear the site where they're util, they are near unstoppable. Wants to get one step ahead. Take the tempo back as an advantage for PaperX. Now audio cut, and Karon will use that advantage to get the angle he wants against Jing, but they haven't quite cleared something from atop the box. And it's going to be Forsaken again with another kill. Meteor with the trade. Something spotted. Karon swings back out, regaining some of that confidence that we saw from the rookie. Over at Madrid, over during kickoff.
One enemy
2v2, Mind Freak puts Karon back in his place, and Meteor will swing around, but he can't land the shot. And the whiffs are starting to come in from Gen.G as they are getting shaken up. They haven't had a tough map like this in a long time here in 2024.
Everything's just going PaperX's way. The luck as well. Mind Freak found the perfect moment to 12-3-3. Back at championship level for sure. As we see Munchkin getting chased away. PaperX, they've cleared out A short. Once again, it's going to be something left on the lurk, an immediate cascade, and an immediate rotate in the works. The smoke's coming out from Brimstone just to buy time. This is just to allow them to make sure they regroup, but Devi somehow gets to spam through the wall, gets the kill onto the sky. The showstopper won't find him just yet. And now, Gen.G playing with numbers down. Something will have to hit the trip eventually, but during all of that, PaperX setting up, and look at this. Odin spam comes through once again, forces him away from backside. Gen.G, they're not quite sure where to hold for post-plant, and there's a guiding light. It draws their crossers away for the anti, and Forsaken swings with it. There's a high tide. Now, all down to Karon to try to hold on into the site as his teammates are busy with the flanks. Karon gets one. Meanwhile, the Dizzy pushes Meteor away. Munchkin with a trade, but he goes down. Meteor holding on, but Forsaken's there. And PaperX string together yet another for 9 on the board. I mean, this is so incredibly well thought out here by PaperX. They get the space early, they send the long lurk again with something, but they have so much money, their max buy panics to get them over the line, and then if that doesn't happen, they start taking tons of map space, and then they have answers for when they give that space up. It's whether it's an Odin or just, you know, good play, good cautious play by Mind Freak or Forsaken, all of these things working so well for PaperX.
So Gen.G this time, perhaps trying to use the timeout as a bit of a mind game, making sure that they don't actually lose the tempo. They're going to pick it up just a little bit. They've already tried to clear Hookah. They take a headshot, but it's going to be an answer right back from Munchkin. So Texture low, but something down as Gen.G leads 5-4 in numbers. Texture lands right outside of that link all the way to defender spawn. Now they'll get the spike down. They have the orbital strike. They've got the tools to finally get around, but the Cove comes in and tries to fill it again, but Forsaken's ready for it. One step ahead yet again. The Reckoning will tie up Lakia. It's going to be the pop flash. He'll be good for one, but it's going to be another cascade. Vision now blurred away from Gen.G. Orbital strike has to be used to buy time. The spray to ensure allows Devi to close the gap. 2v3 for PaperX. Devi, can he get the kills he needs to protect his teammate? No, it's going to finally be a 3.
This time for Gen.G, and that first kill is huge for them. The fact that they come out of that and are able to get into a much more comfortable post plant. Look at him trying to hide from Mind Freak. Not sure if he got spotted or not.
He still gets one. That's the best that Gen.G could have hoped for. So now a 1-for-1 trade. You heard all the TPs. Gen.G, what's the plan here? They're trying to push the defender spawn, but the spike is already dropped by Lakia. He's caught unawares away from his teammates. There's the flash towards backside, and the showstopper will be the one to secure the kill. Texture noted as well. He's tied up now in a crossfire between 4 members of PaperX, and Jing grabs the crosshairs, gets the kill himself, and the judge will not do anything.
Jenkins coming through. I mean, this is unbelievably dominant right now.
That's something that everyone around the world started to notice, right? It wasn't about individual player skill level or anything like that, but these are just soulmates now back in form, playing together, and Texture's trying to tear apart the link between those two. Jing now goes down. Gen.G trying to take over the site, but they haven't quite cleared Hookah just yet. Something's still lurking around with the judge. He finds a site briefly of Meteor. Now just trying to keep him tied up. Something will continue to push away. Spike still not planted just yet. The site surrounded by PaperX. Something trying to throw a curveball, going all the way around B long, but Karon will swing out, get 2. The rookie putting some numbers back on the board, trying to bring home just one more round, trying to keep the hope alive for Gen.G as all 5 remaining members will hold on to dear life here on the site. Mind Freak gets one through the spam, but it looks impossible. As cold as he can get, it's just too many targets, and Texture with 3.
Packs, something like that. Although there are no blast specs we've on. I take it back. Jing's got the boom bot and a
Yeah, just a ghost.
HLs, yeah, just a ghost. So hold that thought. Sometimes looking to see if there's going to be any aggression here.
Oh, both sides waiting for it. I mean,
Yeah.
Paper X, they've had to deal with T1 pushing out a lot as well from that hookah position. And of course, back at the grand finals of kickoff, Gen.G also playing quite aggressively here on the defensive half. Gen.G, the one with pressure as well, down 2-10. So Paper X will wait. They'll gladly wait. And of course, on the pistol, they could always just deathball it, try to win by numbers. But little do they know that the stack is on the B side. Cypher set up on A to just allow Texture to buy time. Snakebite at the ready. It's going to be a crossfire with Charon, but Charon has to make sure that he's not the one that's first spotted. The Snakebite has to be good, but it's a wide swing out. But the flash actually gets everybody. Keeps Charon alive. He's going to be hit by the paint shells. Eventually has no exit. But time bought by Gen.G. Paper X, do they go for a rotate or do they stick to their guns? They've noted multiple people in hookah, but they're still not aware how many could actually be here on the B site. Now re-clearing main, only 30 seconds. If they were to TP away, they'd have to do it on a snap as they run into more members, and they're just looking to flood. The Dizzy goes down, the Trailblazer heads, but Munchkin's good for the spam. The pop flash, but Lakia just continues to spam on a...
Outside of utility. And let's see what can be done by Paper X. See how much damage they can get. Camera in showers, so it's gonna note this here.
Yeah, not quite clear just yet, but he heard all the utilities. So Meteor actually cutting sound, not letting them know that he's actually emptied the area. And now realizing no more checks to Cam, realize the shower's been let go by Paper X. They send the reinforcements over to B. Paper X this time, it's a little bit of push and pull. They put the pressure onto showers, now going back to main, but this gives them full control of that TP. They could rotate back to the spike over on the A side any given moment.
Seeing if maybe they could get Meteor lurking. Lakia gonna confirm.
Trying to just create some space for his teammates, but they can't quite. Oh, Charon does find sight right through the toxic screen of his own, and now the high tide comes in. Meteor's ready for it right outside of showers. Can he get the kills? He's trying to go through. Waiting for the timing. Texture will push them away with the paint shells, trying to just make sure that they clear the plant. They do. And Meteor, he's going to land the first one. He lands the second and the third. And it's a quad for me.
Buy to come up against with Gen.G. A judge in hand for Charon. A bunch of bulldogs and rifles. This is a big round now. Can Gen.G start to turn this map around?
Oh, we've seen this at the grand finals kickoffs as well. There's the Dizzy. He doesn't quite find it. It bounces right off the wall way too early. But now they know about the judge. So Paper X not looking to deal with that today in hookah. That'll force him back away. Already trying to take control of showers. Senses the cam, destroys that, and this is where Gen.G will start to have to make some snap decisions. The camera no longer giving them free control of showers. Munchkin fills it. Forsaken goes for a swing, and he actually wins the duel out. And that's the cue for Paper X to start pushing in. A long-range kill onto Heaven on Meteor as well. Texture, he's caught right in the middle of the site. He has to make sure that he clears his angles, but he can't. Lamb's already taken over as well. And Paper X, they swarm the site. High tide out to secure even more. Jing past it, greeting for yet another kill. Wants to get close to that showstopper as soon as possible. Finds the angle, notices it's Judge.
So tough. So tough. Although Lakia just bypassing something there. So some damage still could be done. He's only got a bulldog. Fishing to see if he can get that gun upgrade maybe before the round is over.
I mean, they'll take anything right now because they need to scrap together everything possible to try to continue here. So many teleports coming in. Lakia's a little scared about this one. Not quite ready for it. Chooses to go for the double triple, but only good for one kill. No gun upgrade. And
That Paper X is so good and so confident in. Every team in the world struggles against that.
yeah, it's going to be the same cam here for Showers once again. I mean, obviously, gets him a lot of information right up until it's cleared, so we'll see if it ever gets pressured this time. But it looks like just a straight set execute from Paper X in the works. Mosh will land in front of Showers, trying to push them away. They're going to wait until the poison cloud is about to diminish. There goes the Dizzy. It's going to be the blast back in over the truck. Uses a cove for cover as well. And he lands safely into Lamps. The left side of the site taken over. Waiting to see if there's a peek out, but Meteor not going to fight the bait just yet. Just waiting for backup to arrive as Charon already goes down. Tags one, that gives Meteor the first kill. In showers, Lakia good to cover on Lamps as well. Spike still not planted. It's going to be a rush to TP over. Munchkin's ready for it. They see the pings coming in from the neural theft. That's one. Can he get the second? He wants to buy time. cannot get the kills, but dwindles the numbers down. 3v2 for Gen.G. paperX double swing out from Hookah. They will continue to charge forward. They don't want to miss a single beat. Something actually gets one kill. Now a 2v1 on the site. Meteor has to come in for backup. They need to get this crossfire right now for Gen.G. Lakia gets one. Dizzy noted, and something wants to isolate the angles, wants to group them together. He's going to go for the far wraparound. The spike planted for him an elbow. He'll wait to see if a push comes through. Gen.G not quite aware where he's exited. Neither of them checking elbow. He gets one, realizes he's not going to get the transfer. Thrash at the ready, sends it on a timing. Doesn't matter if he's, but he's going to wait. Jumps over it on the box, and Meteor heads up play over the Thrash. Gets the absolute read to keep Gen.G alive.
The big brain. I really like that execute from paperX, even though it doesn't really work out, where they use the high tide in the cove so Jing can safely blast pack to make sure that they can set up a crunch into U-Hauls. Didn't really come to fruition in that round. Execute was cool. You don't see very many teams quite do it like that, so nice little piece of work there. Opening trade, good for Meteor.
Oh, there's the showstopper. Can't get away from that, though. As Meteor was trapped in back of sight. Now Gen.G still trying to hold on to the back side. They will have control of it for now. As paperX, they try to push through, but Texture and Munchkin are good with their shots. Something trades for one, but it's still a 3v2 advantage for Gen.G. Now Showers control and backside control for Gen.G. They're going to start to pressure onto the spike. The Molly already having gone down. paperX, they will have to fight for this round, and Mindfreak gets dinged. Something tries to go for the trade, but Charon gets one, and Texture gets the other. And Gen.G will start to try to string together a couple more rounds.
Okay, stabilizing a little bit as Gen.G. Starting to look at them like that.
I mean, anything to buy time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You got the pit coming up soon as well. Meanwhile, paperX, they're close to another Thrash, so could be something that they're working towards. They'll actually go towards the Seekers this time for a divide, now 2 points away, and they plant Jing. Now, Meteor changed up his cam position. Doesn't want to lose control of Showers too early. Finally gets taken out, though. Realizes the lurk from Jing very deep. Ruins the plan for paperX as well.
Yeah, they're pinging Hookah. So they were either thinking about trying to go for some kind of hit, maybe similar to the previous round, kind of set up some kind of crunch there. It didn't really get necessarily accounted for by Gen.G as nobody was in that position. So maybe just a reattempt at it. Texture close to that. It is going to be different, a very different high tide. Try to give them the ability to take a little bit of space, maybe set up some crossfires. Texture trying to go for the early spam on the back of that poison cloud coming through from Munchkin. Here we go.
They're all decayed, but they have to destroy the tripwire. That's the key for Texture to fire off once again. So all these smokes on the side of Gen.G doing their job. Dizzy taken down, tries to clear the wingman. He actually gets it, goes for the blast back, stays alive. That means so much, but eventually he gets wrapped around. Now the orbital strike with the pop flash comes in, something able to stabilize the name before the cyber cage comes up. Lakia's here for backup. Now a 3v3, but weapons upgraded for paperX. Spike will go down. paperX get another lease in this round 18. Something spots the side of Munchkin on that jiggle. Munchkin as well goes for the check, but it's the spray down from Jing and Mindfreak. And now the IGL of Gen.G all alone. Gets one, but can't get the second. Mindfreak with another trip.
Out that side of that ultimate. That cost him his life, and that might have cost him the round.
Going to be that Odin coming out just to pressure Gen.G. Sure, a quick swing out, but not going to be able to pick up the weapon upgrade just yet. And that Odin is just mowing down Gen.G. Divide, letting them know that they will not push out ever again on this map, as it's about to end in the hand of paperX. Seekers used. Lakia stuck in guard, and he will get surrounded. And Meteor is too far away. Lakia goes down. Meteor all alone with just a Gen.G Classic and a Stinger. Is it going to be enough against 4 members of paperX? Quickly trying to go. Maybe try to get a weapon upgrade. Wants to go all the way for a rotate. Now it's going to be the orbital strike coming down. paperX, they really want to just end this map right here, right now. And by pushing out this far, they should be aware, even without a TP, that it's going to be a deep lurk around. Phantom picked up, but so much time spent. And Forsaken, he hears it. He's ready for it. Mindfreak there for the trade in case things go awry. Meteor would have to be a 180 flick of his lifetime to get this. He finds one, trying to spray down, but too much time. Forsaken swings out. And paperX answer back, putting down their claim to the throne once again in VCT Pacific. as they win 2-1 against Gen.G.
Creative stuff here from Paper.